Now, at the 2025 NHL Draft Lottery, an absolute miracle happened. The New York Islanders somehow jumped up all the way to the first overall pick, and that gave them the opportunity to draft Matt Schaefer first overall, and that's exactly what they did. Truthfully, what this should have signaled to the New York Islanders organization was this is the perfect time to start the rebuild. We have an amazing young defenseman to build around. Let's start selling pieces off. And that's what they sort of did. They got rid of Noah Dobson, and that's just about it. This team is looking basically the exact same. I think you have to tear this down a little bit. Matt Barzal is 28 years old. Like, we have to understand, he is not a young forward in the NHL anymore. He is 28 years old, turning 29. You're not building your franchise around him anymore. He is what he is. Bo Horvat's 30 years old. Like, right now, this is one of the oldest teams in the league. You have to accept the fact you're not winning a Stanley Cup with this core right here. It's time to tear it down, rebuild, and that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. Over the next 5 years, I'm going to tear down the New York Islanders and win them a Stanley Cup, and there is nobody on this team that is not untouchable. Sorokin, I will trade you away if I have to. Granted, I'm pretty sure you have no movement, so I can't do that, so Sorokin will not be traded away. If I could trade him away, I would, and I still might talk to him about a trade, because we need to get as many assets as we can in order to rebuild this team. So with all that being said, we're clearly going to make a lot of trades. Now, when it comes to the highest trade value players on this team, we're going to find Matt Schaefer at number 1. Victor Eklund's going to be number 4. The only problem I have with Victor Eklund is he's starting off as a 69 overall, so it's going to take a little bit for him to develop, so he might not be jumping onto the team until year 3 or maybe even year 4. Adam Pelech, you are 1000% being traded away. Bo Horvat, I'm going to talk to you about waiving your no trade clause. Same with Ryan Pollock. Matt Barzal, you're going to be traded away as well. Casey Cizikas, you're already gone. I'm amazed you have as much trade value as you do. Like, that actually makes no sense to me. So I think I've done enough yapping. Let's actually make some trades here. Now, I feel like I bring this up in all my videos, but I do have to mention it. These videos are not supposed to be realistic. I'm not making realistic trades. I'm just trying to win my team a Stanley Cup. With that being said, Svechnikov and a 3rd round pick for Adam Pelech. Does this make any sense whatsoever? Absolutely not. But Carolina, I know you want Adam Pelech. He's fit your trade block, so how about we go 1 for 1 here? There is no reason that trade should go through, but Svechnikov is certainly going to fit the timeline. He's only 25 years old. That's a great addition for the Islanders. Okay, now this deal makes absolutely no sense, but with Casey Cizikas' trade value being so high, we have to capitalize on it. Cizikas, Tony DeAngelo, and a 3rd round pick for Marco Rossi. There is no reason this trade should ever be accepted, but I think there's a world in which we get it done just based off trade values here. Hopefully a 4th round pick is going to make the difference. They're saying no. If I have to throw in a young player here, I'm not against doing so. Like, if I have to throw in a young prospect in order to get Marco Rossi, I think it's going to be worth it, but it looks like another 4th round pick is going to be the difference. Now, we're just going to keep on getting younger. Matt Barzal, I'm going to trade you over to the Montreal Canadiens. Zachary Bolduc, a St. Louis Blues legend, is going to be brought to the team. We're also bringing in Alex Newhook just so we can make the contracts work. At the end of the day, we're getting younger in this deal, and that's what we're trying to go for. Now, this is a tough trade to make because we're giving up one of our young players in Agenson, but I think it's actually okay because we're getting McGroarty back. McGroarty's going to end up playing some top 6 minutes. I'm going to give him a chance in the top 6. I don't care if this team sucks this season. We're going to be bad regardless of where McGroarty plays on our team. However, he has high top 6 potential, and we're going to unlock that potential. We're not going to be getting the 6th round pick here, but that's perfectly fine. I really have to give up more. Like, you're really making me give up a 6th round pick in order to get this deal done. You know what? You're just going to get the lucrative 7th round pick instead. So McGroarty, welcome to the team, but we still have a lot more players to trade. So Pajot, you're going to be the next player we're going to ship out here. Lafreniere is going to be brought in as well as a 4th and 5th round pick, but we have to look at his player headshot because I saw this earlier and I just have to address it. Why is there 2 players? You can see somebody behind Lafreniere. I don't know who that is. I'm assuming it's like Alex Killorn or something. Like, I'm assuming it's somebody who also has the name Alex, and that's why there's 2 players back to back. But yeah, that is a tough look. It also could be Trevor Zegras. I have no clue, just going based off the hair in the background. But yeah, Alex Lafreniere, you have 2 player headshots here. We're just going to ignore that. We're going to bring you to the team. Pajot, you're going to be sent over to LA. I don't think we're going to get all of these draft picks. I would like to at least get a 4th round pick in this deal, and I guess we're just going to be going 1 for 1. I understand we're not fitting your trade block here, but I am definitely giving you enough in Pajot. Are you interested in draft picks? Yes, you are. Okay, we'll just do a 3-team trade with Pajot. So I guess this is what we're going to do instead. A 2nd rounder in Shakir from the San Jose Sharks. John Gabriel Pajot, you're going to be sent over to San Jose. No clue why you fit their trade block, but you do. We have to take on 1 skater here just so we can make the rosters work. Truthfully, I don't really care too much who the skater is. It just can't be Vinny Desharnais, and it can't be Nick Leddy. I'll take anyone other than those 2 players. Jack Thompson, it can be you. We basically just need to get this second round pick. That's really the only thing I care about in this deal, because now we're going to flip that second rounder back to LA, because with that second rounder we can finally do the trade that we want to do. Lafreniere, you're going to be brought in, and I think we probably could get like a 4th round pick. We might be able to secure a 4th round pick as well. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I guess we're just going to be going a second round pick straight up for Lafreniere. Honestly, I'm perfectly fine with that move. Now I think this is going to be potentially our final move. Jonathan Drouin straight up from Matt Coronado. He's locked down for the next 7 years at $6.5 million. It's a little bit right now considering he only has medium top 6 potential, but we're going to unlock his potential. We're going to get him up to like an 85, 86 overall. So this deal is certainly going to be worth it. Matt Coronado, welcome to the team. Now we traded almost all of the old pieces that we could on this team. Bo Horvat's going to be one of the oldest players left at 30 years old. Svechnikov, Siplikov, Matt Coronado, Marco Rossi, Lafreniere. Our team's actually looking pretty young here, and they're looking really good as well. When it comes to the defense, Matt Schaefer, you're playing on the top pairing alongside Ryan Pollock. I think that's the best thing that we can do for your development. And then when it comes to goaltending, we're going to rely on Sorokin for this entire video. Although he is 30 years old now, we wouldn't be able to trade him until year number 4, and at that point I think we just ride with him. So let's go ahead and simulate season number 1 and see how the Islanders do. I feel like we could be a fringe wildcard team, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we were bottom 5 in the entire league. It could really go either way. But while we simulate the season, if you haven't already, of course, hit the subscribe button down below. We're trying to hit 90k by the end of the month, and if you don't subscribe, we won't be able to do that, so make sure you hit the button down below right now. Now in reality, the New York Islanders are actually in the exact spot I thought they would be right now. They're a fringe wildcard team, 20th in the entire league, a 31-29-3 record, but that's not too bad considering this team is building for the future. Right now we're not scoring a lot of goals, but we're also not allowing a lot of goals. We are very mid. Siplikov's having a great season though. He's got 54 points so far. Svechnikov 53 points, Bo Horvat 49 points, Marco Rossi 45. In reality, we just need to start scoring more, but I think that's going to happen once some of these young guys develop. However, I will say one thing. Matt Coronado, what are you doing? 25 points right now. Buddy, score some goals for me. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know why you can't find the back of the net, but it's a little bit ridiculous. Sorokin, 21 wins, one shot, a 910, a 302. But meanwhile, Varlamov, a 921 to 239. Nah, you're really holding it down for me. Now, when it comes to any trades we're going to make right now, realistically, I think I'm just going to talk to guys like Ryan Pollock and Bo Horvat. If they're willing to waive their no trade clauses, then they're immediately getting traded. Like, the best thing that could happen here is Bo Horvat says, yes, I'm willing to be traded, and that's not going to be happening. So Bo Horvat's going to be sticking around, but what about Ryan Pollock? Okay, we actually might be able to trade Ryan Pollock. Persuasion success, very convincing. Is there 3 teams you'd be willing to be traded to? Yes, there is. Ryan Pollock, you are being shipped out immediately. Now, which 3 teams are you willing to join? I have a feeling one of them is going to be the Toronto Maple Leafs. Wow, who would have seen that coming? I kid you not, if you ever ask a player which 3 teams they're willing to be traded to, it will always be Chicago, Montreal, and Toronto. That might seem like a wild claim, but I feel like in the 4 or 5 times I did this in NHL 25, they always said Toronto, Montreal, Chicago. I don't know why that's the case, but it is. So this is what I'm thinking with Ryan Pollock. We trade him alongside Rudder McGroarty. We're going to bring in Brandon Carlo. We all know what stick on the ice legend Brandon Carlo is about. He's an 86 overall. Now that is 2 overalls lower than Ryan Pollock, so it's really not that much of a fall off. Plus he's going to be a great defensive defenseman for us. We're also bringing in Matthew Knies though, and Matthew Knies will certainly be an upgrade to the team. Is this package going to be enough? Yeah, we fleeced Toronto. Matthew Knies is going to be an amazing player. He's locked down for the rest of the video. Brandon Carlo, we will have to re-sign, but we can make it work. Now, I do want to point out, with all the moves we've made, basically everyone's locked down for multiple years. So when it comes to extensions, Zachary Bolduc's really the only player we have to worry about, and we're going to be locking him down for $2 million for the next 2. Actually, can we make that 1.9? 1.9 for the next 2 for Zachary Bolduc, and that's really the only extension. Everyone else is going to be signing 2-way contracts. I think we're all right. I mean, Jack Thompson, I can give you 1.2 million for the next 2 years. I'll give you that deal for third pairing minutes. I guess I can also give Adam Boquist 1.9 million for the next 3. So those are going to be the 3 main deals we do. Now, it wasn't a strong finish for the New York Islanders, so they're going to be missing the playoffs. However, they were a fringe wildcard team, 21st in the entire league. They were only 6 points out of the postseason. That's really not that bad considering how many players we had to trade away. The offense isn't great here. The defense isn't terrible, but that definitely could use some work. At the end of the day, this wasn't going to be a 1-year rebuild. We're building for the future. future, and I think we did a great job at that. Matthew Schaefer, you're leading the way with 79 points, but what'd you do since joining the team? 6 goals, 11 assists for 17 points in 19 games. I can live with that. Siplikov, 65 points. Svechnikov, 64 points. Marco Rossi, 62. Bo Horvat, 61. I really want to trade Bo Horvat. Like, he's not a part of this team's future. I would like to get rid of him as soon as possible here, but I just don't know if that's going to be possible. Lafreniere, 48 points. Matt Coronado, 20 goals, 21 helpers for 41 points. You were actually looking a lot better after we paired you up with Matthew Nyes, so I'm excited to see what you're going to do in the future. Sorokin, 28 wins, 2 shots, a 911 and a 299. He's looking pretty solid. There's a lot of improvements we still have to make to the team. No surprise here, the Florida Panthers are going to be Stanley Cup champions. We all saw that coming. But the real question is, can the Islanders pull off another miracle and jump in the draft lottery? It doesn't look like it. They're going to be getting the 12th overall pick. Meanwhile, Calgary's going to get the 8th overall pick from Vegas, and the Rangers are going to get the 9th overall pick from Carolina. So the Islanders are going to own the 12th overall pick, and as of right now, I'm still not too familiar with this upcoming draft, so we're just going to go with this player who's projected 12th overall. Hopefully has medium top 6 potential, and that's exactly what he's going to have. Starting off as a 69 overall, that's a decent enough pickup for us. We're also going to have another first round pick, and that's going to be the 30th overall, so we're going to go with Enzo. Hopefully he's going to have medium top 6 potential, medium top 9. What a disappointment. But after that first round disappointment, we're going to be getting back a mediumly potential goaltender in the 3rd round. That's what I've been waiting for. Now, we really don't have anyone of value here to be re-signing, so I don't think we're going to have to worry too much here. Of course, I will go through all these guys, and if we can sign to cheap 2-way contracts, I'll be willing to do so. Now, although we didn't have to re-sign anybody, eventually we are going to have to pay some money, and that money is going to be going to Brandon Carlo and Siplikov. We're going to start with Brandon Carlo because obviously he's one of the most valuable pieces to this team, and this is an incredible deal. We're going to be looking at a 5x5, and I'm willing to up that modified no trade. Let's get that to 50%. If we up it to 50%, he's definitely going to be coming back to the team, and I don't plan on trading Carlos, so this is an incredible deal. When it comes to Siplikov, 6.1 million is not terrible at all. However, how about we save a little bit of money here? We'll do 5.8 for the next 6. So he's going to be returning, and he's going to play some big time minutes for me. Hyman, I would like to sign you, but I'm not doing 3.2 million. You're absolutely bugging. I will give Holmstrom 2.5 million though. He can play good bottom 6 minutes for me. Now, 3rd time's the charm. Bo Horvat, are you willing to waive your no trade clause? I want to trade you away. I desperately want to move you. Is there any team you're willing to be traded to? No, there isn't. So Bo Horvat, I think we're going to be stuck with you for basically this entire video, or until at least next season, because I think next season you have a modified no trade. Maybe it's another year after this one. Nope, in the 2028 season he has a 16 team no trade. We'll be able to ship him out next season. Alright, so I know I'm all about trading the old guys away and bringing in young players, but Victor Eklund has not developed at all. He is still a 69 overall. At this rate, there is no way he's ever going to be joining our team. So I feel like we should just trade him away while we can. We trade him away early, get another great player for the top 6. I feel like this is a really smart move for us. Like, yes, we shouldn't be trading away a 19-year-old, but when the 19-year-old isn't developing, I feel like you just have to trade him away. Now, I think we have to make a big time splash. Victor Eklund, I was talking about trading you away, and I'd like to bring another elite sniper to the team. However, in order to bring in an elite sniper, we have to trade an elite sniper away. I shouldn't really call Matt Coronado an elite sniper, though. He only had 20 goals for me. However, Kirill Marchenko would definitely be a great addition. Voronkov would also bring some bottom 6 scoring to the team. William Eklund, Matt Coronado, and 2 second-round picks can be sent over to Columbus. They're going to be saying no to that trade package. Honestly, I'm willing to give up a first-round pick. I'm willing to trade the Islanders' first-round pick for 2028. I know it doesn't fit your trade block, however, it has a lot of value. So is this going to be enough? They're saying no. I'll give up a second-round pick as well. I'm actually willing to throw quite a bit into this deal because I really want Marchenko and I really want Voronkov, and we got both of them. Now I guess we're going to figure out how difficult extensions are going to be. Granted, they really shouldn't be that difficult. We have a lot of money to work with. However, Kirill Marchenko is not interested in signing an extension with the team, and he wants 12.2 million. So maybe this is going to be harder than I thought. However, we do have his RFA rights, so we don't have to worry right now. Voronkov, I'd like to bring you back to the team, and you're willing to sign for 4.4 million. How about we do a 3-year deal at 4.4? So that's going to keep him on the team. By the time we sign him, Siplikov, and Carlo, and even Holmstrom, we should still have enough money for Kirill Marchenko. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. There's a couple players on this team that I completely forgot were here. One of them being Anthony Duclair. He didn't play for us at all last season. He was in the AHL. He's still on the team now, and we're paying him 3.5 million. How about we don't do that? Another guy that we should probably get rid of, Pierre Engvall. He's not playing any minutes for me. We no longer need this man on the team. Let's just get rid of that contract. We're paying him $3 million for the next 4 years. We don't need to do that. So I'm going to send him over to the Oilers, and we're getting a 3rd-round pick. Now, over the past year and a half, I think we've made a lot of incredible moves. Bo Horvat, Svechnikov, Siplikov on the top line, Matthew Nyes, Marco Rossi, Marchenko on the second line. The bottom six is looking pretty strong. The defense could use a little bit of work. Like, I think we need another second pairing defenseman. Scott Mayfield, you can play third pairing minutes for me, but you're not really a second pairing defenseman. And then when it comes to goaltending, we have Sorokin, and he's our guy for the entire video, as we all know. Now, in just year number 2, the Islanders are looking incredible. 8th in the entire league, a 36-21-5 record. We're not scoring that many goals, but we're keeping the puck out of the net. 2.61 goals allowed. That's what we're looking for here. The defense is elite, but surprisingly, Siplikov is leading the way with only 49 points. Right now, we have incredible scoring throughout the entire lineup. We just don't have one guy leading the way, and I think that's okay. If every line on this team can score, I'm perfectly fine if we don't have one guy scoring all the goals. When it comes to goaltending, you already know Sorokin's posting amazing numbers. 30 wins, 7 shots, a 925 and a 235. I think we're ready to win a Stanley Cup, so we might as well be buyers at the deadline. And if we're going to be buyers, I would like to bring a defenseman to the team. Quinn Hughes, that trade's impossible, so we're not going to be able to trade for you. However, I wouldn't mind going after a guy like Sean Durzi. I know Sean Durzi's not going to be on the trade block, but I think he'd be a great addition to the team. The problem is, I highly doubt Utah's going to be looking to trade him, considering they have 35 wins right now, so maybe we won't go after Sean Durzi. Vince Dunn, on the other hand, or even Brandon Montour, that could be interesting. Okay, Vince Dunn is no longer on Seattle. I guess we're not picking him up. Alright, so we're going to pull off a big 3-team trade. Boquist, a young prospect, and a second rounder is being sent over to the Senators. We're getting Ottawa's second round pick as well as Braden Coots. Both of these assets are going to be incredible for us because we're going to be flipping both of them. They're going to be saying no to that package, but it's perfectly fine. Here's a 4th rounder and another 4th rounder. Ideally, this is enough for those 2 assets from Ottawa. Are they going to be saying yes? We need to add just a little bit more. So how about I turn one of those 4th rounders into a 3rd? I'll give you Edmonton's 3rd round pick, and then I think this should be enough. They're saying no to that. I'll take out this 4th rounder and make that a 3rd as well. So I think this is going to be enough for Braden Coots in a 2nd round pick. The Ottawa Senators are going to be accepting, but now it's time to flip those assets because we have to head over to the Pittsburgh Penguins because we're going to get the defenseman that I actually want from the very beginning. So now that we got those assets from Ottawa, we're going to flip them over to the Pittsburgh Penguins. For some reason, they have Vince Dunn on the team. I have no clue why they have Vince Dunn, but they do. And now we're going to be picking up Vince Dunn. They're going to be rejecting that 1st offer, but how about we turn that 2nd rounder into a 1st rounder? So Coots in a 1st rounder for Vince Dunn. The defense is going to be set once we get this trade done. I'm throwing that 2nd rounder back in the deal. I don't care what it takes. Vince Dunn, you will be joining this team. I'm not going to lie, this is a bit crazy though. Like, I feel like all of this definitely should be enough. Just look at the trade values. We're getting fleeced. But you know what? We did get Vince Dunn, so maybe we're not getting fleeced. Okay, one thing I am a little bit concerned about is Vince Dunn has already signed an extension, and I have no clue what that extension is. Marchenko, how much are you looking for now? You're only looking for $11.5 million. Can we do a 3-year deal? Because if I do a 3-year deal, that locks you down for the rest of the video. I guess we're going to do 3 years at $12 million, or do I just give you a no movement? Because it's not like we're going to be trading you away. If I did a no movement, we probably should be able to do $11.5 million. And you know what? If we do a no movement, we actually might get this way lower than I was expecting. Like, we're going to be looking at 10.5 for the next 3 years. This is definitely a deal I'm okay with. So Marchenko, welcome back to the team. And then when it comes to that Vince Dunn deal, how much did he re-sign for? $9.1 million. I can actually live with that. Now, after the trade deadline, this team locked in, and we have been the best team since. 2nd in the entire league, a 53-24-5 record. We're not that far off of the Florida Panthers. I'm excited for that matchup in the postseason. 3.56 goals per game, 2.59 allowed. We are absolutely flying right now. Siplikov's leading the way. He has 73 points. Bo Horvat 69. Maybe I don't want to trade you away. Lafreniere 65 points. Marchenko 63. Matthew Knight 62. Marco Rossi 61. We had a lot of 60-point scores. And then when it comes to goaltending, this man is a god. Sorokin 43 wins, 9 shouts, a 922 and a 239. Please win a Stanley Cup in year 2. This would be one of the most successful rebuilds. Matt Schaefer has been an absolute dog when it comes to the defense. He's one of the highest rated defensemen on this team. And if we can win with him in year number 2, that solidifies his greatness. We're taking on the Red Wings in the 1st round. Let's make a statement against them. Like, don't get me wrong, the Red Wings are going to be a decent team. However, they're not the New York Islanders. They don't have Sorokin, and that man has been carrying the way. We allowed 3 goals in game number 1 and didn't score. Luckily, we're going to be responding in game 2. We're scoring 3 goals, and it's going to be a shutout for Sorokin. We're scoring 5 goals in game number 3. We are allowing way too many goals, though. We split the series with the Detroit Red Wings. Game 5 is going to be a big one. We have to close this one out, and when it mattered most, we're going to be winning that one in overtime. So let's close it out in game number 6 and move on to the second round. I don't want to go to game 7, and we don't have to worry about it. The Islanders are going to be getting past the Detroit Red Wings in round number 1. We're off to a pretty solid start, but now we have the New York Rangers, and this won't be easy. The New York Rangers are definitely ready to compete with us, but I'm not sure if they're ready for the Islanders. They are 1000% ready for the Islanders. 5 goals scored here, 6 goals scored here. What happened to Sorokin's elite goaltending? I have no clue, but we're down 3-1 in the series. Like, I knew this team was going to be ready for us. Did I think they could compete with us? Not really, because the Islanders were on an absolute roll this season, but things have completely fallen apart. Gabe Perreault's picking up the first goal. Marco Rossi is going to be responding. The third period is going to settle this one, and in the third period, we're going to be lighting the lamp. 4 straight goals. We're still alive. Now, truthfully, that's what I'm expecting in every game. We score 5 goals and we only allow 2. We're one of the best offensive teams, but we're the best defensive. And with us being the best defensive, that means you keep the puck out of the net. And really, up until that last game, we hadn't been doing that. We had been allowing a ton of goals. Sorokin has picked up a handful of shutouts, but I need this team to show up now. We're picking up 2 goals in the first period. Moving into the second, they're scoring 3 straight goals. So that means we have to pick up 4 straight goals in the third period. So let's go do that. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. Sorokin's going to be allowing 4 in this one, and we're going to be falling in the second round to the New York Rangers. Now, am I overly surprised? Yes and no. Like, I'm a bit surprised that the New York Rangers dominated as much as they did, like 5 goals here, 3 goals here, 4 goals here, 6 goals here. Considering we were the best defensive team in the league, and the way Sorokin had been playing, I didn't expect them to be scoring that many goals. Am I surprised we lost in the second round in year number 2? Not really, because honestly, I didn't expect us to make it to this point in year number 2. Like, plain and simple, the Islanders exceeded expectations. The Colorado Avalanche are going to be Stanley Cup champions. Who'd they beat in the Stanley Cup final? The New York Rangers. So we lost to a team that made it to the Stanley Cup final. Nothing you can really do about that. Our offense completely dried up. Like, it really wasn't that good, but then again, it actually wasn't terrible. Like, Bolduc 8 points, Rossi 8 points, Siplikov, Svechnikov, and Voronkov all 9 points, Marchenko 11 points, Bo Horvat 11 points. We had good scoring throughout the lineup. Goaltending fell apart though, plain and simple. Sorokin 6 wins, 2 shutouts, so 33% of your wins were shutouts, a 9-11 and a 303. Unless this man's recording a shutout, we're losing a majority of the time. So we know what we have to work on over the offseason. I think we need to bring in another elite defenseman. And saying that, we're likely not bringing in another elite defenseman because Matt Schaefer needs an extension pretty quick. Marco Rossi needs an extension pretty quick. We're not going to have a lot of money to work with. Now, we only have 1 pick in the draft, so we're just going to take a flyer on this guy who might have medium elite potential. It's inaccurate scouting, but what if it was right? So we're going to take a swing here. Medium bottom 6 potential. Oh, I guess we had multiple picks. We also have the 187th. Do we have a 7th round pick as well? We very well could have. You know what? We're just going to take swings in this draft. We're not going to be walking away with anything great anyways. Yeah, we're picking up 2 prospects that are never going to play for us. Now, we have $16 million in cap space, but I don't want to get crazy here because Matt Schaefer needs an extension and Marco Rossi needs an extension. Newhook, I'm qualifying you as an RFA. I'm not giving you $5 million. Heineman, I'm hoping we can keep you around for $3 million. I don't think that's going to be the case. Never mind, it looks like it will be. We're going to be doing 2.7 for the next 3 years. That's an absolute steal for an 84 overall. Like, you're 1 overall lower than Alex Newhook and he wants $3 million more than you. That's wild work. Kyle Palmieri are going to be leaving the team. So those are really the only 2 contracts we're concerned about. Everyone else can walk. Now, thankfully, we have some money to work with here because there's a lot of extensions. Marco Rossi, Zachary Bolduc, Matt Schaefer, Laferriere. Of course, we got to go with Matt Schaefer. He's the main piece we're building this team around. He's looking for $8 million, and I can do $8 million. So here's 8.3 for the next 3 years. Matt Schaefer's going to be returning. Marco Rossi, how much money are you looking for? You want 7.4? I'm a little hesitant to give you that because I feel like I can just give Zachary Bolduc a little bit less, and he can be our second line centerman. And you know what? We actually are going to do that. Zachary Bolduc will be the second line centerman, but Marco Rossi, you're just going to become our first line centerman because we can trade Bo Horvat now. So Marco Rossi, I'm going to keep you on the team as well. We'll do $7 million for the next 2 years, so Marco Rossi is going to be sticking around. Laferriere, how much money do you want? You want 6.2. Granted, with all the money that we've handed out here, do we just hold on to Bo Horvat? Because with all the extensions we've handed out, we can afford to bring everyone back except for Laferriere, and honestly, I'm okay if we let Laferriere walk. We're going to hold on to his RFA rights, so worst case Ontario, we just trade him away next season. Everyone else is under contract. We might just run it back with basically the exact same team. And you know what? After consideration, that's actually exactly what we're going to do. Bo Horvat, we're going to be holding on to you. I'm not going to trade you away because it doesn't really make sense to trade you away. We'll flip Newhook somewhere, and then we'll include him with another RFA, or we'll include him with somebody on an expiring contract. I guess we could trade Scott Mayfield. Like, Scott Mayfield's 34 years old. He's under contract for the next 3. We probably want to get rid of him. So Scott Mayfield, I'll throw you into a deal as well. So I think what we're going to do is Alex Newhook and Scott Mayfield are both going to be traded. Renzel, we're going to bring you in for the next 3 years at 1.7. Oliver Moore, you're going to join the team for $2 million for the next 2 years. They're going to be rejecting that, but once we give them a couple draft picks, they're going to be saying yes. So here's a 3rd round pick for 2029, and I think that will be enough to get this one done. I guess they want a 7th round pick as well. So here's a 7th rounder for 2028, and just like that, we got this trade complete with Chicago, and I think we're ready to roll. Okay, this is kind of crazy, but if we gave Lafreniere a no movement clause, we could bring him back to the team. Do I want to do that? Yes, I do. Lafreniere, welcome back to the team. I mean, it's kind of iffy on whether or not you're going to be accepting that deal. I feel like your contract interest is enough for you to accept that. If you don't, it's not the end of the world. We just won't bring you back, but he's going to be returning. Nah, nothing's going to stop us this upcoming season. So here's what we're looking at entering season number 3. Matthew Nyes, Bo Horvat, and Svechnikov on the top line. Maybe I should have Kirill Marchenko on the top line. He is 2 overalls higher, and that's what we're going to do. Svechnikov, you're going to play on the second line alongside Marco Rossi and Siplikov. Voronkov, Zachary Bolduc, Lafreniere are going to hold down the third line. We have an incredible top 4 when it comes to the defense. Yeah, we could work on our third pairing a little bit here, but you know what? These guys are going to make it work. And then when it comes to goaltending, we all know who we have. Sorokin, you're going to be the starting goaltender. Tristan Lennox, honestly, you can be the backup. We don't really need a superstar backup here. Sorokin's going to play 90% of the games anyway. Yeah, so it turns out having a backup goaltender is actually really important. Jack Greaves, welcome to the team. We desperately need you. Now, we all remember what this team's record was before I made that trade. We're 6th in the entire league, a 38-19-5 record. Ever since making that move, this team has stepped it up. The offense is better. The defense is better. Nothing about this team is bad. Marco Rossi, 64 points. He's lighting the lamp. Bolduc, 57 points. Bo Horvat, 55. Vince Dunn, 53. We have great scoring throughout the entire lineup, but I'm very curious to see what Matt Schaefer's doing because I don't see his name here. 7 goals, 12 assists for 19 points. I feel like he should be putting up more points than that. Maybe I'm crazy. Granted, he's not on the number 1 power play right now. He's playing his role on this team. He's plus 25. He's been an elite player for us. What can I say? He's an 87 overall. I'm surprised he doesn't have any X factors yet. Sorokin, 32 wins, 7 shouts, a 919 to 263. And Jack Greaves, since we brought him to the team, 5 wins, 2 shouts, a 934 and a 179. Yeah, this team is elite right now. Sorokin, you're basically playing all the games, but you have 7 shutouts so far. You might record 10 shutouts this season. Like, you are locked in at a different level. It makes no sense. Considering how good we've been since we made that goaltending change, we're just going to stick with the team we have because right now we are the best team in the entire league. Now, although we didn't make any trades at the deadline, we're still a top 10 team. 6th in the entire league, a 49-26-7 record, but I was expecting us to have a better record at the end of the season. After we brought Jet Greaves to the team, this team really stepped it up, and now that we've taken a little bit of a step back, I am concerned. Marco Rossi is going to be a point a game. He has 87 points, 28 goals, 59 assists. Bo Horvat's picking up 74 points, Marchenko's picking up 70, Siplikov 68, but the real question is, Sorokin, did you finish with 10 shutouts this season? It doesn't look like it. He's only going to be picking up 1 shutout after the trade deadline, 39 wins, 8 shouts, a 917 to 264. His numbers are still looking incredible. Jet Greaves is still doing his thing as the backup, but can we find a way to win when it matters most? We have the Philadelphia Flyers in the first round. The Islanders are looking to get back from their disappointment last season, and we might even be able to take on the Rangers in the second round and get our revenge. Like, I would love to take the Rangers on. I want to get our revenge. They took us down in 6 games, I believe, or was it a 7-game series? I don't think we went to 7 games. I think it was only 6 games, but that's beside the point. The Rangers took us down the second round. That won't happen again because we might lose in the first round because we lost the first 2 games, 1-0 in game number 1 and then 7-2 in game number 2. We have scored 2 goals so far in the postseason. That is not a good look for us. We're going to be responding in game number 3, but we're trailing 3-1 entering game number 5. What is this team doing? Like, the offense just completely vanished for us in those first 2 games, but the defense was also atrocious. Nothing about this team has been good so far. We're exchanging goals in the first period. Moving into the second, it's going to be a scoreless one. I am terrified entering the third, and the reason I was terrified is because we're going to be allowing back-to-back goals and we're eliminated in the first round. That is tough. Like, there is nothing that has to be said here. A first round exit is certainly not what we were looking for. So the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to be winning the Stanley Cup, taking down the Colorado Avalanche in 6 games, but we got to get back here. Like, what are we really doing? The offense was atrocious. The defense was atrocious. Goaltending was atrocious. Nothing about this team was good. The only game Sorokin won, he had to get a shutout. Like, that shouldn't be happening. We should be able to win games without having to get shutouts. The salary cap is going to be going up, so if we have to make a move, we're going to be able to do so. And honestly, we might have to make a big trade. Bo Horvat, I think we might have to move on from you. Yes, you've been one of our better players, but we got to do something. Oh yeah, and if you're wondering how the draft's going to be going for us, we have no picks because I traded everything away. I should really do a no trading pick challenge. Because yeah, I just trade them every year. Like, I do not care about picks. They're all gone. Now we have $2 million in cap space, so Jack Thompson, I can bring you back to the team. We'll do 2.3 for the next 2 years. I'm going to need you to play like an absolute stud on the third pairing for the next 2 seasons. Also, I feel like it goes without saying, Jack Reeves is coming back to the team. $900K for the next 2 years. This is a no-brainer. Now we're going to have to make some interesting moves heading into the final 2 seasons. Svechnikov, you're actually not going to be returning to the team because you want $13 million, and I'm definitely not willing to do so. So we're going to trade you away. Your trade value should be pretty high, but Bo Horvat, you're also going to be traded away. And when I trade both you guys, what am I targeting? Goal scorers. We need guys that are willing to shoot the puck and put the puck in the back of the net, because right now we are not scoring enough goals. In the regular season, we do perfectly fine. In the postseason, we didn't score at all. So let's go find some of the best goal scorers in the league. Who's taking the most shots here? Because whoever we can reasonably trade for here, that's who we're bringing to the team. Bolesky, you're going to be brought to the team. Now, you are a lower overall than Svechnikov. However, you had 33 goals last season, and you took 285 shots in your rookie season. I'm perfectly fine with bringing you to the team. You're on your entry-level contract for the next 2 years. This is a great deal for us. Yes, Montreal gets the higher overall player, but we get the guy who scores goals, and that's what we need. And then if I'm being completely honest, I actually don't think we need another goal scorer here. Instead, we need a pure playmaker. And William Eklund, I'd be perfectly fine with that. I don't know how we're going to get you on this team, but we're going to find a way. Never mind, I take it back. William Eklund's getting paid $14 million right now. There is no way we get that done. Now, this is a bit of a surprise because usually I don't trade for this player. Lucas Reichel, you're up to an 88 overall right now, and you had 51 helpers last season, including 22 goals, so you'd be a really good playmaker for us. So Bo Horvat, I'm going to be giving you up. We're also going to get a 3rd round pick back in this deal, and it's actually our 3rd round pick for 2029. In order to get that pick back, though, we need to give up a 7th rounder. But I'm okay with that. And then with the cap space we have left, we might be able to keep Holmstrom on this team, and we might be able to keep Oliver Moore. Holmstrom's looking for $4 million, but you know what? We have the cap space to do that. So here's 4.2 for the next 3. And then when it comes to Oliver Moore, I'm hoping for under $4 million, and that's what we're going to do. 2.8 for the next 3 is going to allow him to come back to the team, and our team is set for the next 2 seasons. We just need to find a way to win the most important games. Now, there was one change to franchise mode I was unaware of. X factors are the only thing that impacts line chemistry, because Matthew Nyes, Lucas Reichel, and Bolesky, all of them have perfect line fits across the board here. Yet we're not getting any line chemistry boosts. So I can only assume line chemistry is solely dependent on X factors, and X factors is the only thing that impacts anything. Because if I move Kirill Marchenko down to the 2nd line, where he actually has a worse line fit, we get a +2 boost. And Matthew Nyes, who has a worse fit on the 1st line, still gets a +2 boost. This is the most confusing thing I've ever seen, but then again, maybe it's player typings. Is player typings the thing that has an impact? I have no clue. None of this makes any sense to me. Like, if I move Siplikov down to the 2nd line, we get a +1 boost. If I move him up to the 1st line where he has a perfect line fit, we only get a +2, and then we don't get anything here. I'm confused. I am very confused when it comes to X factors and line chemistry. None of this makes any sense to me. All we know is Sorokin's a 90 overall, and he's ready to win a Stanley Cup. So in NHL 26, do we just not really worry about line fits whatsoever, and we just bring in the best players imaginable? Like, do we just completely say goodbye to player types and player line fits and just focus on, oh, you're a 90 overall that scores goals, I'll bring you to the team? That might be the case for NHL 26. I have no clue. Also, we're not making any trades here. I'm pretty confident with how the team looks. We got shut out in game number 1. There's no way that just happened. Okay, I'm never going to understand this team. 7th in the entire league, a 45-30-7 record. We have to go look at this team in the Metro Division. So they won the Metro. Not really a surprise there. This team was outside the wild card at the trade deadline. We had 29 wins at the trade deadline. We won virtually every game after the trade deadline except for like 3. we were incredibly good. We were getting shutouts like crazy. Kirill Marchenko, 88 points, 44 goals. Marco Rossi, 85 points. Siplikov was -3. I think he might have been the only player on this team with a negative plus minus. Never mind. Him and Jack Thompson, the only players on this team with a negative plus minus. Y'all are absolute frauds. Jack Reeves, I'm not really too worried about your numbers. I know you're an absolute god. But Sorokin, 35 wins, 4 shouts, a 908 and a 282. This team just confuses me. Like, after the trade deadline, we were so incredibly good, it made no sense. We have the Boston Bruins in the first round. I feel like we all know how this is going to go. Like, when you're that dominant after the trade deadline, it only makes sense for you to lose in the first round, and that's fully what I'm expecting here. So let's see if this team locks in. We have the Boston Bruins in the first round. Why is this taking forever to simulate? We're losing game number 1. That is a great start. We draw off game number 2 as well. That is just fantastic. Are we losing game 3 as well? I fully expect it. We're about to get swept in the first round. We're winning game number 4, but that means nothing. Unless you win game 5, game 6, and game 7, we're going to be falling in the first round. I don't even know what to say. I don't care who wins the Stanley Cup this season. We have one more year with the New York Islanders. This team did nothing. Marco Rossi, 2 goals. Bolduc, 2 goals. Siplikov, 2 goals. The wild thing is, all the goal scorers I brought to the team did not score goals. I have players on this team that are here to specifically score goals, and all those players that are here to score goals did not score goals. That is wild. When it comes to goaltending, Sorokin, 1 win. Yeah, there's nothing that needs to be said here. We're moving on. Now, this really just caps off the disappointment that we've been seeing. A medium top 9 potential player in the first round. We just can't catch a break. I take it all back. We can catch a break. We got a medium league potential player in the second round, and we might be okay. We have to trade up a little bit. We're going to be walking away with another medium league potential player in the third round. We are going to then package these players up, and we're going to bring another superstar to the team. I do not care what it takes. We are winning a Stanley Cup in the final year. I'm going to build the best team possible for us. I know for a fact this is going to be enough to move up to the 81st overall pick. I don't care if they think they're finessing us. We're finessing them. So we got 1 medium-league potential player. Now we're going to bring another one to the team. This one's guaranteed to have medium-league potential. This is an absolute steal for us. We're going to turn both of these guys right here into like 87 overall players. Now we don't have to worry at all about the re-sign phase. None of these players we have to bring back to the team. We're going to make 2 big trades, and then we're going to win a Stanley Cup. All right, we're going all in, plain and simple. One of our medium-league potential prospects, and Oliver Moore, is being sent over to the Anaheim Ducks. Cutter Gauthier, welcome to the team. We're bringing in Cutter Gauthier, and then we're going to find one more really cheap player. I think that next cheap player is likely going to be a defenseman. I'm very surprised that this package isn't enough. I'll give you a second rounder as well. It shouldn't cost us too much more than this right here. The fact that you're not accepting is wild. Like, I am throwing you an absolute bag for Cutter Gauthier. Just give me him. Like, I'm not doing multiple first round picks, but I'll do multiple second rounders in this deal. We're doing multiple first round picks. We are throwing multiple first round picks in a trade package to get Cutter Gauthier. This is wild. We have to throw in a third round pick as well. I don't know why we have to give up this much. Alright, so here's the final player we're bringing to the team. Axel Sandin Pellikka. You have to be the difference maker for me. I don't care what else I have to throw into this deal. It's probably going to be a second round pick. That's perfectly fine with me. I need you to be the difference. I guess we technically do have one more player we could trade away. We have a medium-league potential goaltender. He has a little bit of value. We'll see what we can get for him. Now, this is going to be the final deal we make before we head into next season. Holmstrom, I'm trading you away. I'm giving up that medium-league potential goaltender and a second-round pick. Anton Lundell, you're going to join the team. You're going to play bottom 6 minutes for me. We have to win a Stanley Cup this season. Now, I have genuinely no clue what to do here. Like, I'm not even worried about line chemistry, because no matter what I do with line chemistry, it's just not going to work for us. But these are the lines that I think we're going to run this season. There is 0 weaknesses across the board. If you were to say we have a weakness, it would be our 4th line centerman, because he's only an 80 overall. Everyone else on this team is 85 overall and above. When it comes to the defense, that looks amazing. Matt Schaefer, I do want you on the top pairing, though. Vince Dunn, I want you on the top pairing as well. Brandon Carlo, Romanov, you guys are going to hold it down the second pairing. Sandin Pellikka, you're going to play some third pairing minutes for me. I mean, that's a pretty good right side. Sandin Pellikka, Brandon Carlo, Vince Dunn, maybe we do something like this. I don't think it really matters, because this team is somehow going to lose in the first round, and it's going to make no sense. The Islanders get one last chance to win a Stanley Cup. Matt Schaefer, you are the number 1 defenseman here. You need to do number 1 defenseman things. No, like, you really can't make this up for the New York Islanders. So we're going to be worse overall in the standings than we were last season, even though we had a 50-30-2 record. So record-wise, we were better than last season. Standing-wise, we're actually lower in the standings. We're third in our division. We have to take on the Carolina Hurricanes in the first round. Carolina was better than us. We're definitely going to be a first round exit. No doubt in my mind, this team's going to lose in the first round, even though we have one of the best teams of all time. Sorokin, 41 wins, 5 shots, a 901 to 285. These numbers aren't going to be good enough. I need a 950 from you and a 150. I think that's the only way we're going to get past Carolina. And then even when we get past Carolina, we get the Rangers in the second round. Up until this point, the 2 previous rebuilds I've done, they've been fairly successful. And then I want to win Matt Schaefer a Stanley Cup. And I did a great job. Like in year number 2, we made the postseason. And I think in year number 2, we actually had our best record. Until now, we won game number 1, but we're dropping game number 2. Moving into game 3, that's going to be a big one. We can't afford to drop back-to-back games. And what are we going to do? Well, we're going to score 7 goals. We're winning that one. We're taking a commanding 3-1 series lead. We're going to close it out in game number 5 and move on to the second round, because that's what the New York Islanders do. Just kidding. We're actually slowly going to blow a 3-1 series lead. And when I say slowly, I mean incredibly slow. I don't know why the simulation is so slow. It's not normally this slow, but today it is. So we're moving on to the second round, and who do we get? Well, we get the New York Rangers. It's time for the get back. We have to get back against the New York Rangers. We're exchanging the first 2 games. Game 3 is going to be a big one. Can we take a 3-1 series lead? All we have to do is win game number 4, and we're not going to be doing that. So game 5 is going to be the most important game. Whoever wins this one's going to have the lead in the series, and it's going to be the Islanders. Close it out in game number 6, and we can move on to the conference finals. That's what we're doing. We were able to get back against the Rangers, but now we have to beat the Toronto Maple Leafs. We can't be worried about get backs anymore. We just have to focus on winning. We're going to be exchanging the series so far with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Moving into game number 5, we're going to close that one out once again. Close it out in game 6 and make it to the Stanley Cup final. Here we are. I didn't think we'd be able to get to this point, but in year number 5, we've made it to the Stanley Cup final, and all we have to do is win 4 more games. The Islanders have gone through a rocky road to get to this point, but we're finally here, and it's time for Matt Schaefer to finally get a Stanley Cup. Are we going to be sweeping the Edmonton Oilers? It doesn't look like it, but we have a 3-1 series lead, and all we have to do is win 1 more game. Okay, that was interesting. Up until this point, the Islanders have been a complete disaster, and then in year number 5, in our final season, they absolutely lock in and win me a Stanley Cup. I'm very shocked. I actually don't know what to say. Like, I truly did not think this team would be able to win a Stanley Cup. Based on the 4 previous seasons, why would I have any faith in this team? But when it mattered most, we showed up, and it was the entire team. Marchenko, Laferriere, Lundell, Lucas Reichel, Marco Rossi, Cutter Gaucher, Vince Dunn. How did my man Matt Schaefer do? I'm not expecting a ton of points from him, but he had 4 goals and 4 assists, including 1 game winner, so he was showing up in the big time moments, up to a 90 overall, one of the best defensemen in the game. And when it comes to goaltending, Sorokin showed up when we needed him. 16 wins, 1 shutout, a 916 to 258. We took over for the Islanders in the year 2025. We traded off all the old pieces, tanked in year number 1, and in just a matter of 5 seasons, we were able to get this team a Stanley Cup. Matt Schaefer, it didn't take too long for you to see success in the NHL, and now you can officially say you're a Stanley Cup champ.